This is Rolling with Tay podcast. I'm your host, Tasia, aka Tay, and this is episode 9. And I am my own guest. There is no guest on this episode. It's me, solo dolo. So, I've talked to some really dope people thus far, and I've gotten their story on why they do, why they cycle or why they rollerblade or why they're on this journey. I thought it was only right that I tell you, why I'm on my cycling journey or how I got on this journey to begin with. So, I've always rode a bike. Like as a child, I had bikes. I can remember my bikes. I can remember I had this like purple and orange Huffy. I got one birthday. I had another pink and white bike and another purple bike. Now I have a purple bike. So I guess purple is the color. But I can remember those bikes and riding those bikes and falling off those bikes. Taking trips or long rides on those bikes. When I'm supposed to be riding around outside in front of my building, I'm I'm a mile away, 2 miles away from home on my bike. Of course, my mom didn't know that at the time, but venturing it out and seeing different areas and different neighborhoods, trying to get to the beach, trying to get to different sections of the Bronx on my bike as a kid. But, I stopped riding a bike and I actually rode a bike in college. They allowed you to rent bikes, for free. Just leave your ID. Make sure you bring the bike back. But you could take the bike out for, a couple of hours. And I would ride around the town. If anybody's familiar with New Paltz, I went to SUNY New Paltz, graduated from there. And I would ride a bike. Saturday or Sunday, I don't have anything to do. All right, let me explore. I would ride the trails, beautiful trails. Ride around the town, But after college, I didn't ride, So in 2015, 2016, after work, in the summertime, at the time I was working on a gig, and after the gig was over, I wouldn't want to get on the train during rush hour because 1, it's hot. 2, it's too many people. It's too crowded. I'm not trying to push through. 3, it's summer. Like it's the summertime. I know me, by the time I get on the train, then get off the train, like it's getting dark out. I wouldn't have enjoyed my day because I've been at work all day, Like I wouldn't have enjoyed this nice summer day. So what I did was I started walking. I started walking along the Greenway, the Hudson River Greenway. So I would walk that. And I would walk further and further. So I'd go to the west side from 42nd Street, actually 45th, walk over and then hop on the path and walk up to 125th Street. And you may say, what? What? Why would you do that? Like I said, it's too crowded. It's hot. I want to enjoy, being outside in the summertime. So I would walk. And as I'm walking, I would see all these people on bikes. Now, this was before, City Bike hit New York City. So I would just walk and say, you know what, Tasia, I'm going to get a bike. I would say that. 2015 came and went. 2016 came and went. 2017, I said, I want a bike. Like, I'm seeing all these people with these bikes. I know if I could, I was thinking about commuting to work where I was working in the city, I could commute. I was thinking about just riding for leisure. Like, oh, I had it planned out. I'm getting myself a bike. I even said, okay, I started looking at bikes. Couldn't decide. And then I saw this folding bike. I was like, okay, I'm going to get this folding bike. And when I get this folding bike, I can take it on the train with me, take it to where I'm working, put it under my desk or put it in a little closet, put it in a little area, and then I can, take it home. I would, once I got off, ride to the train or ride wherever, then hop on the train and then, go home. That didn't happen. I did get a folding bike. I did get on the train twice with my bike. And then after that, never got on the train with my folding bike again. I was like, I'll just ride. It was too much of a hassle to get this folding bike, which weighs a lot, down the steps, up the steps, on the train. Even though it folds, it's not as compact as some other folding bikes. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to just have to ride my bike. I don't care. So I start riding this folding bike. And I start riding in these rides. And everyone else has a full-size bike. And I'm usually the one with a folding bike. And I'm kind of struggling on that folding bike. Now, not to say everyone struggles on a folding bike. That's not the case. I was just struggling on a folding bike. Now, don't get me wrong. I was holding my own. But I felt like I was doing a lot of work. Like, damn, what is going on? I did a ride called Bike East with Courtney. She's the bike mayor. She put this on, I think 2017, and I'm riding. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm riding, and then everyone is passing me. Little kids, elderly people on foot. I'm like, what is going on? Again, I don't blame the bike. I blame me. Like, I wasn't conditioned for this. But that made me want to go. It made me want to get faster and keep up with people. So what do? I get a road bike in 2018. I'm thinking to myself, Tasia, is this something that you're going to stick with? Because the folding bike is getting you places. Like, you're able to keep up with people. Even though you're struggling a little bit, you still, you're able to go places. I rode my bike to Brooklyn and back. Like, I was getting places with my folding bike. So don't get me wrong. I was getting places. But, I wanted to go, like I said, faster and longer. Did a little research. And then purchase my road bike. And again, before I purchase this road bike, I'm saying to myself, is this something I'm going to stick with? Because I'm doing fine with this folding bike. Then I said to myself, you know what, Tasia? You know what? Take it to the next level. What's the worst thing? Okay, you spent some money on another bike. You have two bikes, and if worst comes to worst, you can just switch it off. Like, I didn't see a negative in getting this road bike. Get the road bike. I'm riding it. And I see the difference in my riding. And like I said, I was going further and I was going faster. And it was like, oh, damn, I like this. Then I started doing more group rides. Then I joined Black Girls Do Bike NYC. And the camaraderie of the ladies, I was just like, yo, this is so dope. Not to say I couldn't do it on my folding bike, because I already was doing it on my folding bike. I was going to different rides. But now with my road bike, I was like, oh, I'm everywhere. Who's meeting? So this is 2018, 2019. Now I start doing more rides. So Bike New York puts on a number of rides each year. They put on the Fireborough Tour. They put on a ride in Jersey. They put on a ride in Poughkeepsie. I think another ride in Jersey, maybe 2 rides in Jersey. I'm not 100% sure, but they put on a number of rides. So now I'm doing those rides. I'm doing 33 miles, 55 miles. Like, can't tell me nothing on my road bike. What? My friend Prince got a road bike as well. So now we're doing the rides together. We go to DC. We do a ride in DC. Like I said, we hit up Poughkeepsie. We go to New Jersey. It's like, damn. I never thought that I would, from my folding bike, which I got because I just said, hey, I want to get a bike. You know, I want to commute. I want to ride leisurely, to now doing rides out of state, getting medals for completing these rides. Like, I was hooked. Shucks, I was hooked on my folding bike. But now, on my road bike, can't tell me nothing. People call me crazy. Girl, you did 55 miles? Yes. Yes. I did 55 miles. So now, I'm riding in more rides. I rode in the rain in 2019, the Fireborough Tour. Riding in the rain. Completed it. Because that was one of my goals. Now, I'm riding, but I'm setting goals for myself. Okay, we did the 33. We did the 55. I want to do the Fireborough Tour. I'm trying to do some of these notable rides that people do, you know, in cycling. Like, whether if you try, you know, just, they're just significant rides that people do. So I'm trying to do them all. And then 2020 hits. You know what happened then. But I wasn't riding too much. I actually got a trainer right before, you know, we had to be quarantined. And I was debating with myself, like, should I buy this trainer? It was a few $100s. And I'm like, am I even going to have a chance to use it? Because I bought it in February. I'm like, I'm going to be working soon. And then I'm going to be working. And I probably won't be riding my bike. And then after work, it's going to be nice out. And I'm not going to be on the trainer. And I'll be outside. Man. Maybe like a couple weeks later, they shut everything down. I cracked open that bad boy and was on that trainer. I was on that trainer every day. You know, that kept me sane, I guess. Like, some people were having a hard time, and I can understand why, you know, being cooped up in your house for so long and not being able to see your friends and your family, not being able to do anything, really leave your home. And my trainer basically saved me from feeling like that. I was able to ride virtually with people from all over the world, communicate with them from all over the world. Somebody from Black Girls Do Bike, I believe Chicago, and I believe her name is Celeste, started group rides on Zwift. Zwift is an app where you can ride and run virtually in these different worlds. You know, it's really cool. So you do have to have a paid subscription, and you do have to have a trainer to use it if you're talking about cycling. And for running, I think you have to be on a treadmill. But I'm not 100% sure about that. But anyway, I look forward to Thursdays because we had group rides on Thursdays. So I was able to look forward to group rides on Thursdays. And then during the day, I was on my bike sometimes twice a day, depending on what I was doing, which wasn't much. I would be on my bike just riding, able to communicate with people from all over the world. We have a group chat. You could chat with them. It was cool. Plus, I had a goal in 2020 to ride 2,020 miles. So this helped me get my goal. I knew I had to ride this much a week to get me that much closer to my goal. So some days I did not want to get out of bed like everyone. Just like, but I'm like, you know what? I have a goal. I want to get to 220 miles, 2,020 miles. So I got to get up. That kept the motivation going for me. And I think then Yvette, Black Girls Do Bike NYC member, said she wanted to do a century. And she had it planned, for 2020. And at this point, we could now leave, but it's not like anything was open for us to do. It was just recreation. So she's like, hey, I want to do a century. Now, century ride is 100 miles. You're riding 100 miles. Now, up to that point, I had never done anything past 55 miles. And I also, in my mind, if I'm going to ride 100 miles, I want some type of a medal or something. Like, I'm not just riding just to say I rode 100 miles. That was my thinking, right? Because up to that point, every time I rode in a ride, I got a medal. So she's like, yeah, I'm riding 100 miles, I'm doing a century, who's with me? She put that in the Facebook group. I was like, you know what? That's a good goal to have. And it's going to get me closer to my, the goal that I'm trying to reach. So I said, yeah, I'll do it. Then a few other people said, yeah, we'll do it. So then we trained. It was myself, Yvette, and Wendy. We set aside Saturdays. So the first Saturday, I think we might have did 25. All right, cool. Did 25 miles. The next Saturday, we're going to do 50. The next Saturday, we did, I think, 72. So I think we did 3 Saturdays in a row in preparation for our century. Like, we're ready. As well as doing other rides and other group rides in between then, We're ready. We are ready. October comes, and it's a group. It's not just us. It's more members of the Black Girls Do Bike organization. And that's when I first met Serena. As if if you listen to the previous episode, and met some other ladies in the group, and it was a perfect day. Like, I can't say it enough. It was a perfect day. The weather, that was something that we worried about. The weather was perfect. The company, everyone was so cool and chill, and had a positive attitude, and it was like good vibes. And then it was just a good ride. I couldn't have picked a better group of people to do my first century with. So it wasn't even about a medal or anything like that. It was just like, yo, we're on this journey together, and it was so dope. So then we complete the journey. We make it back. We do our century. And after we complete our century, the Shiro, Lisa, of Black Girls Do Bike NYC, presents us with certificates of completing a century. And when I say I was so excited that I got that, I was like, I can't believe, again, I was so used to getting, some type of an award, some type of medal for completing a ride. And with this one, I didn't expect it, because it wasn't this big organization putting it on. It was just us. It was just us saying, okay, we're going to do this ride. When I got that, I was like, oh my goodness gracious. It's made my day. I came home and framed it. I completed a century. I rode 100 miles. If you would have asked me, again, this in 2017, I'm just going to get this folding bike just to commute, or, just ride leisurely around on the path. I had no intention of taking this journey that I'm on now. No intention of riding 100 miles. You would have asked me that, I would have said, hell no, I'm not riding 100 miles. I don't even want to ride 5 miles. I had no intention of doing this. I had no intention of getting another bike. But, when you're on a journey, you just never know where the path takes you. I don't know if that sounded profound or not, but But 100 miles. Man. Now, I'm about to do another 100-mile ride. This one is organized. This one is in New Jersey. And I'm doing it with a few people that I know. Serena's doing it. Lisa's doing it. A few other, the Black Girls Do Bike NYC are doing it. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to ride 100 miles. I'm excited to hit the road. I am. I'm excited. And again, I can't say this. I can say it enough, but this was never my intention, So this year, one of my goals is to ride in 3 centuries. This will be my first century of the season. So after this one, I'll have 2 more to do. And Nadir, another former guest, he has already been inviting me to a couple centuries. I'm like, I don't know about this, man. I could do a century on a Saturday because I have that Sunday to rest. He's sending me centuries on Sunday. I'm like, what? He's sending me century plus. He's sending me 114 miles. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's only 14 extra miles, but dang. So that was one of my goals. Another one of my cycling goals is to ride, to complete 2021 miles. So I have like 1,000 and something miles left. But, knock out a few of those centuries that, I'm not going to have that much left. Yeah. I'm going to finish the season strong and, just ride. I feel better when I'm on my bike. I feel better when I ride. And as of recent, I haven't been riding like I should have. And it's just because of balancing time. Like, I'm working or I'm doing something else. But I should make time to ride the bike because I always feel better. There hasn't been, knock on, wood, there hasn't been a time where I'm like, damn, that was a sucky ride, Even riding in the rain, even getting a flat tire, even falling off my bike. I always say, yo, that was a good ride, but I did fall. But we did get a flat tire. I did get a flat tire. It was raining. It was cold. But I always feel good after the ride. So, I'm going to make more time to ride my bike. Yeah. So, that's just a little bit, a little quick backstory on me getting into cycling. I'll probably go into like more in depth on like, how we trained for our century or where we did our century and what exactly is a trainer and all this other jazz. But I just wanted to give you a little, backstory on how I started riding a bike as an adult. But, yeah. So, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed episode 9 of the Rolling with Tay podcast. I'm your host, Tasia, a.k.a. Tay, and I will see you on the next one. Or you'll hear me on the next one. I got to figure out how to close out the show when I'm just by myself. All right. Thanks for listening. Peace.